Welcome to the Meritor Monthly Product Seminar. My name is Kim Wolf. I'm the Innovation and Technology Manager with Meritor. And today we're going to discuss MeritorPartsXpress, specifically how to find the exact parts you need using MeritorPartsXpress.com. MeritorPartsXpress.com is your one-stop aftermarket parts resource for your express lane for uptime. We're available 24/7, and it's a powerful tool with easy-to-use functionality. What you see on the screen is a listing of all of the features that are available for non-logged-in users. So you don't necessarily need to have a user ID to be able to find quick and easy information on all your parts needs. We're going to go over express inventory as well as availability. But you'll also see that we have over 100,000 product specs. We're not going to cover all of those today, but they are available for you. We're going to cover the various search features, which include visual, exact, and our catalog search. We'll also look at some of the cross-reference and alternate and part interchanges that are available, as well as reference material to help you make the correct buying decisions. We'll also look at related items and how they can assist whenever you're purchasing a particular item, what you may need to stock on your shelf or suggest to your customer. We'll look at the where used as well as our compare and bill of material compare. We'll also just show you how our parts include VMRS codes, the vehicle maintenance reporting standards that many of the fleets use today when they're doing their services. And of course, we have a video library on Meritor Parts Express. We won't go over that today, but I do encourage all site users to visit the training library for not only quick reference tips on how functionality on the site works, but also our many product videos that are available to you, again, 24/7. As I mentioned, the agenda for today is going to touch on the exact search functionality. We'll look at some of the tips for finding the right parts that you need. I'll also touch on the interchange and alternates. We'll do a side-by-side comparison, and then we'll look at the express inventory messages. That is a feature that will let you know when product is not necessarily just available, but when it will arrive at your doorstep. A feature that, quite simply, you're used to receiving in your home life, at your day-to-day life, that you do with other websites that you may use. And now we're bringing that to the B2B, business-to-business environment setting with our e-commerce site. We'll also look at interpreting the bill of materials. And we have a new feature that recently rolled out, and it's the can build messaging. We'll show you how easy it is to find out if that part is available to be built, even though it says it's out of stock. So let's get into the live demo. As we look at the website, MeritorPartsXpress.com, you'll be able to see just from visiting the URL that we have various features that start right at the top. Catalog search, visual search, exact search, even a keyword search and a part number that can be entered. Or we even have a part interchange, which means if you have our competitor's part number, we're able to find that item and cross it over for you without even logging into our site. And as mentioned, if you're a fleet and you're looking for a VMRS code on a particular part, just search, and you know that number, just search by the VMRS code in this search box, and you'll be able to find the information that you need. I'm just going to walk through a little bit about the home page and show you some key areas that may be of interest to you. You'll see our banners. With the banners, we offer some of the most recent enhancements to the site. So I encourage you to take a few minutes, if even that, and just scroll through some of the banners and keep up to date of what's available. And if you want to know what's new, it's simple. Visit the What's New icon on the home page, and we'll share with you any information that you may have missed on receiving of our customer bulletins. Or if you're not a current customer, we do encourage you to join our email list through the Express and Focus newsletter that comes out once a month. Also, as we jump back up here, you'll see that at any point in time, you'll be able to see future training or product seminars, such as today's, and sign up for those. They're free, so why not attend? Also, with the various icons that we have on the home page, it's quick and easy to find the information that you need, not just by searching parts, but any particular items. Our recent enhancement highlights the site benefits. So if you haven't checked it out, I encourage you to do so today. Let's take a look at the exact search. You can see that we have 6 different product categories. Let's just take a look and search all. If we do on the search all, we like to provide easy to use information. With exact search, you're able to use the easy to use selector tools and find a particular area of interest. From brake shoes to suspension, we have you covered. Speaking of suspension, let's go ahead and start on the suspension identification exact search. With our suspension identification selector, we utilize easy to use graphics, and if you go into a particular area, you'll be able to see that you can switch over to any of the other areas in just a moment's notice. Let's start with line haul trailer. But if we wanted to jump on to any of the other applications, all we have to do is hover over the area and you're able to go to any of the other sections. What you're able to see with our exact search tool for suspension is that you're seeing an actual image of the suspension. So if you don't know that it's a Hendrickson N-Trax and the item is sitting, the trailer is sitting in your service bay or on your lot, you're able to come to MeritorPartsXpress, take a look through the exact search tool, and find the particular suspension that matches up to the one that's on your trailer, and then go find the parts that you need for that. We'll take a look at Hendrickson N-Trax, and you'll see that when we click that, the next piece of information that we're brought to is an exploded view. This is the exploded view listing, and it shows all of the parts and diagrams on that N-Trax suspension. If you're looking for the part numbers, you have a couple of ways to do it. One way is by clicking over from exploded view to list view. And when you click on the list view, now you'll see that the exploded view is reduced. And on the right side, you'll see a listing of part numbers. You can find all of the part numbers by clicking on the expand feature. And now you'll be able to see the part. So if you were to say, click on an individual part number, it will highlight that part over on the exploded view. So this allows you to find it that way if you know a part number. But if you don't know a part number, let's jump back over to the exploded view and just take a look. From this view, if you know the area that you're repairing or needs to be repaired on the vehicle, in this case, let's say we need the bushing kit. We'll go ahead and just click on the bushing kit, and you'll see that within the one click, you're brought to the Meritor, the Euclid, and the GAF part numbers that are available for that particular bushing kit. For the sake of suspension, we know that Euclid is king. Let's go ahead and choose the Euclid part number. So here we go. We've got the part number E14377. We're able to see the description. We also see where it says genuine OEM. This is our brand descriptor. And even though we're in with the Euclid part number, this is a genuine OEM part number. And let me show you how we know that. By clicking on the part number, we are directed to the part detail page. On the part detail page, we see a lot of valuable information. We see the genuine OEM, and if we scroll down on our specifications tab, down to the bottom, we see this is genuine Hendrickson product. Through the Euclid brand, we are able to offer genuine OEM product. And so with Meritor and Euclid, you know exactly what you're receiving in the box. There are no surprises. Come on to the website, put in the part number, use our brand descriptors, and we'll let you know if it's genuine product or if it's a high quality aftermarket part. As we look through the list, there's a lot of good information. Here's the VMRS code that we pointed out and discussed before. You're also able to see the weight, the unit pack, and even a pallet quantity if you're looking for bulk items. By using the tabs on this page, you can take a look and find other key information, such as any kind of reference material. What's the catalog that this part number is in, or any kind of sales publication and literature. You can even take a look at the part interchange tab. This would be the cross-reference. So if you had entered the Hendrickson part number in this search field, which is the interchange, it would have brought you to this part number because this is the genuine Hendrickson part. If for some reason we didn't have stock on this item, even though it says that we do have in stock, but it's low stock order soon, we'll talk about that when we get to our express inventory messaging. What you're able to see is that we do have a cross-reference, and this will cross over to the Meritor part number, which is also genuine OEM product because we can sell the genuine Hendrickson product through both the Euclid and the Meritor brand. And if you want to determine if we hadn't come from the visual search over to this part number, but we had this part number and wanted to know what suspension it went into, we're able to link back over and do so through the hyperlinks that go and connect us back over. So that took a look at the suspension exact search. Let's now switch over and go and take a look at another one. Let's try brake shoes. Because when you think of Meritor, we all know that you know about brakes and the Meritor Platinum Shield. So with the exact search on the brake shoe kit selector, it's a little bit different. There aren't necessarily images that appear here, but what we do have is the way that you search for a brake shoe. You do so by identifying first the brake shoe. We give you some diagrams, some ways to make some measurements, and then by using our drill downs, you can make a selection of some of the most popular ones. We'll pick a 16.5 by 7-inch shoe, and then we'll select which manufacturer. Yes, we do have more than just Meritor on the manufacturer within Meritor Parts Express, but for today's demonstration, let's go ahead and touch base on the Meritor product. As the page loads, you'll be able to see our next selector is to choose which shoe are we looking for. In this particular case, we're going to go with the 4707 QP. We'll click that. And now we need to next identify our application. There are two ways to identify your application. It could be from the competitor lining information, where you then select from a list of competitors and choose the lining number, or you can use by the application, where again we utilize, similar to the way we did before, some of the graphics that exist to show the applications. For the sake of this search, we're going to go ahead and select the single axle truck trailer. Then we're going to come over and select the weight rating. We'll try a 23,000 pounds. So now the brake shoe kit selector has taken in all of our inputs and it gives us some information. But before we look at all of the search results, I want to highlight the fact that we also provide within the brake shoe kit selector some information on how to disseminate the Meritor part numbers, whether it's a new line shoe or a remanufactured line shoe kits. These are the way that our parts break down. So take a look when you have a chance. So now we'll take a look at what our selections ultimately resulted in. We're able to see that we have the remanufactured kit part number, we have the new kit part number, as well as some other application information to help us make our decision. And if we look down and scroll, we see that there's a scroll bar that will go across and provide additional information. So I am currently giving you a demonstration by not even logging into the website. So therefore, I do not have access to price. But if you are a registered user, you can log in, and once you're signed into your account, if your permission settings allow you to see price, this is where you would see the price of the parts. But let's get back over to the selection. A couple of different things that we want to note. At any point in time, you can use the filters to reduce the quantity that you have on the page. In this particular case, you'll see that there's enough that it's not too much that we need to reduce the flow, but maybe if we only wanted to see the reduced stopping distance friction, by simply just typing in RSD, you'll see that our selection filtered, and it's just that easy. We can go and clear our filter here, and now we have our full selection back. So within this, let's now highlight another area that we talked about. We're going to talk about the compare function. Bring your attention back to the top navigation bar. At the top navigation bar right now, you see that this is all we have, just a few things. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and make a comparison of a few part numbers. Let's take a look specifically at these three part numbers. So by clicking on the box and click Add to Compare, you'll see that we now have this overlay that pops up at the bottom, and it says we have 3 parts to compare. We can compare up to 4 part numbers at any point in time. Then simply click Compare, and now you're able to see an image of the products as well as the part numbers and the information, which includes a lot of other information than was what was in the chart that was on the previous screen. So the compare functionality allows you to get a lot of information on the screen at one time. But what happens if I want to switch off? How will I want to switch away from the screen? What happens? Will the compare go away and will I have to start all over again? The answer is no. Because why? Now if you direct back up to the top navigation, you'll see the word compare. So that at any point in time, if I decided to go back to the home page or back to my selection, actually, let's just go back to our selection. If I then come and click on the compare, it opens up my compare. And now I can go and do it again. I can clear all of them out at once by using the clear all, or I can simply deselect them by closing them, and the compare goes away. So remember, the compare is a powerful tool to make easy buying decisions in comparison of particular parts. Let's focus next on the express inventory messaging. And so I'm going to do another search, and this time I'm going to utilize the main field for search by just a part number. And I'm going to do so by just typing in a particular part number. All right, I've got my part number XK2124515Q. What we're able to see is, oh, this part is in stock. All right, it's in stock, but when is it going to arrive? If I need to place an order, how soon can I get that? Well, by clicking on the part number, and now you're able to see we're at that part detail page like we talked about before. I see that it's in stock, and oh, it says I can have it by tomorrow. This is actually January 19th, and so it says I can have it by Wednesday, January 20th. And I'm thinking, well, that's great, but it says here the transit time is based on the location in the top navigation bar. So if I take a look, oh, here's my location. It's using my zip code 41042, which is the Florence, Kentucky location. But what if I'm not in Florence, Kentucky? What if I'm in, say, Maryland? Or my customer's in Maryland? Then what I can do is enter in the zip code for that particular area, and we also take postal codes as well. And now you'll see that I can still get it. I can still have it by tomorrow, but if I get it, my get it by date now says Thursday for an emergency order, because this is assuming it's going to ship ground. But if I want it as soon as tomorrow and I'm in Maryland, I can simply choose emergency order and then select next day air. So now I know a way that I can see that we have inventory in MeritorPartsXpress.com, and I also know how quickly I can get it, or if I'm having it shipped to my customer, how quickly they can receive it as well, based on their location. So remember, when you're checking these, make sure if you want to know the inventory with Express Inventory Messaging, be sure to check out your location. So now let's jump over and discuss the feature of the Can Build. Now we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to go back to the search tool, but what I'm going to do is instead of putting an entire part number in there, I'm going to utilize the asterisk. The asterisk is treated like a wildcard search. So by just putting in part of the part number and then using an asterisk, I'm able to find other possible matches for the first section that I had searched. So remember, an asterisk is a way to do a wildcard search. In this case, I take a look and I say, oh, the part number I was looking for was an XK212-4317EH, but it's out of stock. I see here now, though, there is a Can Build. Okay, let's click on it. Oh, they can build it. What this is doing is letting you know as a user, again, not logged in, you can find out that if we have a part that is considered a kit, which consists of multiple components, that is built out of our Florence, Kentucky location. By utilizing the Can Build functionality, within one click, you can find out if Meritor can build one kit of that particular part number. Again, this is if you are not logged in. If you do have a user ID, you can log in, use our price and availability feature, and we'll be able to let you know if we can build more than just one. But from a quick standpoint, you can easily find out if this particular product can be built. Okay, Kim, wait a minute. That's great, but what if you don't have stock? How am I going to know that you don't have stock and you can't build it? Well, let's go up here, make one little minor change to our part number search. Now we'll conduct a different search. And with this, we'll scroll down. We'll take a look. Oh, here's this particular part. It says it's out of stock. When I click it, can they build it? It seems like we cannot. And so the message changes to insufficient quantity. So remember, be aware that at any point in time, you can do a search to find out if we have stock, or do a check on if we have stock and can build that particular item. Also, I will mention that with the compare feature, you'll notice here, some parts have compare and some parts will have a bill of material compare. So we'll go over the bill of material compare within the next couple of moments. Next, let's take a look at visual search. Through the visual search, we're able to take and look at the tractor and the trailer and see the exploded views of various areas. By simply rolling over areas of the vehicle, you're able to see from the front, we have the front suspension and the front axle brake, or at the rear of the trailer, we're able to see the various areas that we can perform visual searches. Or if we actually go to the end of the tractor, we're able to take a look and focus on some other components. Let's highlight the drive axle section. Within the drive axle category, we've recently included some new information. What you're able to see is a list of the various models that are available for the exact search feature. Let's go ahead and highlight on the Forward 145. As you can see, by selecting the Meritor Forward 145 carriers, we're able to see a different view on the search. With the CAD drawing, we're able to break down the carrier into the various components that they have and highlight those particular areas. For this side, let's go ahead and take a look at the differential. From the exploded view, we're able to see, similar to how we did previously in our searches, and to highlight that. I'll notice that we're on the exploded view, and we do have the option to switch over to the list view, just as we did before, where we see the full part numbers. We can use the expand functionality to expand all of the parts, or we can collapse them. Let's go ahead and touch base on what we discussed before about the compare. I mentioned briefly about a bill of material compare. And you'll see that right now, again, we do not have anything listed in our top navigation. But if we go and select by a part number and choose one other part number, what we're doing now is we're taking some kits, and those kits would have a bill of material. So let's do an add to bill of material compare. Similar to the view that we had on the compare functionality, we have an overlay that comes up. We can compare up to 4 different parts within our bill of material compare and do the same. But now we're going to see a little bit of different flow of the information. Now what we're able to see is the image of the parts as well as the part numbers, but we see the components and the quantity of the components within that particular kit. If these 2 kits had shared any components, we would just see one line that would have the particular quantity for that particular kit. So the bill of material compare is a powerful tool to make a determination if you have the right parts that you're looking for in your kits. And just like within the compare, when you have items in your bill of material compare, you'll get the area that focuses up at the top, so you can always go back. But if we decide we want to go ahead and close out of any of those, we can do so and jump back over to our exploded view. Now that we're back to our exploded view, we're able to take a look, and in this particular area, let's focus on one part. Let's take a look at this side gear. On the particular side gear, let's put the check mark next to the part number. We'll take a look. We're able to see the part, an image of the part number, the description. Again, it's genuine OEM product. And let's go ahead and click into the particular part number. What we're able to see now is on this particular part, we do still have the information about our in stock and how quickly we can get it based on our location. And we have some of the specifications as well. But what you'll also see is we have a Where Used tab on this item. Within that, you're able to see all of the areas that this particular part is used. It's key to when you're trying to locate the correct parts. And again, we have the visual search to let us know where this particular gear is in multiple locations. Speaking of amount of information that can be available to you within our tabs, let's touch base on a couple of things. I'm going to actually input a part number of a brake hardware kit to show you the vast amount of information that can be available on a part. Speaking of the tabs, let's go ahead and try inputting another particular part number that we can take a look at to find a lot of information that is available on MeritorPartsXpress for a particular item. By entering a brake hardware kit, you'll see that there are multiple tabs. And within those tabs, we have the specifications that we discussed before, the Where Used, our reference material, and you'll notice within our reference material, in this particular case, what it did is it popped up some of the related items. But at any point in time, if we're on here, we can always scroll down and see the related items. Related items are key so that if you want to do the upsell, if you're looking for that brake hardware kit or for any of our other components, scroll to the bottom and take a look to see where you may get an upsell on items that your customer may not be aware that they need, or maybe you need to make sure you have stock on your shelf. So remember to use the related items. And then we also, again, have a lot of additional information. I wanted to touch base on the fact that we talked about alternates before. Alternates are good for when if we didn't have stock on an item. In this case, we do. But you can take a look through the alternate tab and be able to find other product based on the additional information, such as what if you're looking for the heavy duty version because we didn't have stock on the regular version, or if you wanted to have the item without bushing, or maybe you needed it to be boxed or not boxed, or maybe you needed a bulk. Always take a look at the alternates, because this is a way to see if there's another alternative for you to buy the item that you're looking for. Okay, let's go with one last search. And we're going to focus now on some information on our production bill of materials. By putting in a full assembly, we're going to go and again, click on the part number that gets us into the item. And we said that this item is, we can see it's in stock. One thing that we do notice is it says it's in stock, but it says it's low stock, order soon. Not only do our express inventory messages tell you if an item is in stock and how quickly you can get it, we let you know that if we are running low on inventory, if you need that item, you might want to order it very soon before all of our stock is gone, and then we have to wait on lead time on an item. But as we look on this, we're able to see, again, specifications, where used, but this time you're able to see a production bill of material. On the production bill of material tab, there is a wealth of information on this particular assembly. And you, just like we did before, you can expand to expand all and see all of the parts, or we can collapse it and you can download the parts listing into an Excel file to make some other buying decisions. And at any point in time, you'll see that every one of the part numbers is available to hyperlink, and you'll be able to direct through the hyperlink to get to that particular part number's part detail page. If you are a registered user, you can see from this screen features and functionality that are available to you as a registered user. We've only scratched the surface of what can be done from MeritorPartsXpress from a search functionality. But if you're a registered user, you can use the compare functionality and get PDFs of that. You can use, based on your user permissions, the My Orders portal or notifications on orders. You can even get a download of suggested stocking lists. So if you're a Meritor customer and you don't yet have a MeritorPartsXpress user ID, I encourage you to register today. And you can do so by going to MeritorPartsXpress.com. On the top right-hand corner, click on Register. You'll be brought to the page, and if you need the minimums, you can then enter your account number and register. Or if you don't know your account number, you can still register, and we'll confirm that for you. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're not yet a Meritor customer, or maybe you're a fleet or an independent service garage, we encourage you to still sign up for our mailing list for our Express and Focus monthly newsletter from MeritorPartsXpress.com. This is a newsletter that only comes once a month, but it's a powerful tool to show you any information that we've added to the site in new ways to find the right products that you need. Because, as I mentioned before, Meritor Parts Express is your express lane for uptime. It's easy to use, and we encourage you to do so. This concludes our presentation today. Again, my name is Kim Wolf. I am the Innovation and Technology Manager at Meritor. Everyone stay safe, and please visit MeritorPartsXpress.com. Thank you.